everyone, and welcome to another Tempo Strategy Wild Hearthstone video. The Darkmoon races are underway, and we've already seen quite a few changes to the Wild meta in the weeks following the new mini-set's release. A few different cards are making their mark, but there's one card in particular that is having a greater impact than the rest, and that card is Nitroboost Poison. This Rogue and Warrior dual class card is one of the most powerful and mana-efficient buff cards ever printed, allowing both of these classes to build massive weapons and threatening boards faster than ever before. Nitroboost Poison has been enough on its own to bring several staple aggro archetypes back to the forefront, so in this video we'll break down which decks have seen the biggest boost from Nitroboost Poison, and go over some tips on how to make the most of Darkmoon Race's most powerful new card. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Tempo Strategy YouTube channel and to turn notifications on to stay up to date with our Wild Hearthstone content. So let's start off with the most obvious home for Nitroboost Poison, Kingsbane Rogue. Kingsbane Rogue is an aggressive juggernaut that combines the blisteringly fast opening power of the pirate package with the endless damage potential of its namesake weapon. But before Darkmoon Races was released, Kingsbane Rogue was a tier 2 deck that was considered weak to anti-aggro strategies, especially those that were packing weapon removal. Now with Nitroboost Poison, Kingsbane Rogue is unquestionably a tier 1 deck. How does Nitroboost make such a difference? Well, consider that the deck already used the Wild classic weapon buff, Tinker's Sharpsword Oil, to help build a big weapon. Nitroboost Poison is almost as powerful in effect, but since it's only a 1-cost spell, it's much easier to cast and more flexible to play in combination with other cards. In fact, Nitroboost Poison is so cost-effective that it tends to speed up the deck's ability to push for lethal by at least a turn or two on average, which helps finish opponents off before their anti-aggro cards come online. That said, there are a few tricks to using Nitroboost Poison effectively with Kingsbane, so let's take a closer look. Most of the cards in Kingsbane Rogue are relatively cheap, so the most common opportunities to corrupt Nitroboost tend to become available starting on turns 2 and 3. Cavern Shiny Finder and Coin into Raiding Party are the most straightforward, and they also help you find your Kingsbane, but there are other ways to do it that you'll want to be aware of. If you have Preparation and Nitroboost, you can use any 1-mana card to corrupt it. Simply play Preparation, then play Kingsbane or a 1-mana minion before casting a spell, and you'll have a corrupted copy of Nitroboost, even if you decide to play a different spell with Preparation's discount. Preparation also helps with chaining Tinker's Sharpsword Oil into Nitroboost, which is a massive 10-point damage swing for only 3 mana, as long as you have a weapon and a minion that can attack with the buffs. 3-mana Pyroblast is a bread and butter play for Kingsbane Rogue that gives the deck the potential to annihilate opponents from almost out of nowhere. Another important trick to remember is an interaction that occurs when you draw Nitroboost off of Secret Passage. If you draw it from Passage and then corrupt it, the corrupted copy is treated as a new card and will not go back into the deck at the end of the turn. This trick is especially important if you're forced to use Secret Passage in the early turns, so you can use your mana to play other cards and retain Nitroboost for the next turn. Keep these tips in mind and you'll be able to consistently build a Kingsbane of colossal proportions and make short work of almost any opponent. Kingsbane Rogue has gone to the next level thanks to Nitroboost Poison, but it's not the only Rogue deck that's getting a boost. Odd Rogue is also seeing a bit of a renaissance thanks to the card, since it helps Odd Rogue return to an aggressive style of play we haven't seen from the deck since Cold Blood was nerfed. Nitroboost Poison is the same amount of short-term damage as old Cold Blood was, but it's even better than Cold Blood for long-term damage, since even if the boosted minion is killed, you're still likely to get in an extra hit with the buffed weapon. Of course, Odd Rogue always has consistent access to a strong weapon thanks to the upgraded hero power, and even though the poison daggers don't have near limitless durability like Kingsbane does, Odd Rogue is still packing plenty of other buffs that come together to turn its weapon into a serious threat. Odd Rogue is also inclined to use the buff daggers for board control purposes, so whether it's clearing threats and taunts or simply going face, Nitroboost Poison helps you get where you need to go. The big question is, what's the best way to corrupt it? Odd Rogue can't run Preparation or any 2-cost cards, so it can't corrupt Nitroboost as quickly as Kingsbane Rogue can, but Odd Rogue does play a few 3-drops that can set you up to play Nitroboost on turn 4. Volpira Taxon Blade into Nitroboost Poison is a particularly potent turn 4 play that helps deal big damage with your weapon quickly, so be on the lookout for that. Another play to corrupt Nitroboost that's more common in Odd Rogue than Kingsbane is using Cutting Class to corrupt it. If you have Buccaneer on turn 1 into the upgraded hero power on turn 2, you can cast Cutting Class for 2 mana on turn 3 to draw 2 cards and corrupt Nitroboost, and even cast Nitroboost in the same turn if you want to. With these tips in mind, you'll be able to deploy Nitroboost Poison quickly and turn this classic aggro deck into a force to be reckoned with. Speaking Speaking of classic aggro decks, the last deck in our Nitroboost spotlight is the granddaddy of wild aggro decks, Pirate Warrior. Since Nitroboost Poison is a dual class card, Warrior can make use of it as well, and with all of the powerful weapons and other weapon buffs in the deck, Pirate Warrior is a natural home. Pirate Warrior's curve is very accommodating to corrupting Nitroboost Poison and setting up a weapon for it to boost without missing a beat. A common way to start is to play N'Zoth's First Mate on turn 1 to equip a Rusty Hook, then play Ship's Cannon or Sharkfin Fan on turn 2, followed by Nitroboost Poison on turn 3, so you can start picking off your opponent's minions or attacking their face with a big hook. Nitroboost also works very well with Ankar, since it's a weapon that corrupts the card on its own, and it works well with Bloodsail Cultist as a corruption enabler that both buffs your weapons and gives you a body to carry the minion buff as well. The strongest card of all to pair with Nitroboost might be Sword Eater, which is a weapon and a minion all in one. A turn 5 Sword Eater into Nitroboost Poison gives you a 4/5 taunt with an Arcanite Reaper for the same mana cost as Arcanite Reaper by itself. It's another 10 damage swing to the face that helps close out games quickly, and in a world where mass removal cards are abundant and Reno Jackson is everywhere, Pirate Warrior needs as much help as it can get to make a lethal push before Reno can do anything about it. Put it all together, and Nitroboost Poison gives Pirate Warrior the extra push to stay competitive in a wild meta that's more powerful than ever. Overall, Nitroboost Poison may be the single most impactful card from the Darkmoon Races mini set for Wild, powering up 3 separate top-tier decks across 2 different classes and ushering in a new age of aggression in the format. The tips from this video will help you make the most of the new All-Star card, but also be sure to check out our Wild Meta Snapshot for more in-depth coverage on these decks and their place in the meta. If you've enjoyed this spotlight, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to stay up to date with our Wild Hearthstone content. Thanks for watching!